Your report showed a lot of product just sitting there out on the barges in the ocean. So who exactly among the retailers is going to be hardest hit?
Well, Betty, any industry that does trade with Asia via cargo ship is certainly feeling the effects right now. Just to give you an idea of some of the top imports that are suspended out at sea, you've got furniture, you've got apparel, you've got auto parts, electronics, footwear. So we're seeing ripple effects across the U.S. economy. The retail industry says a shutdown of these West Coast ports would cost $2 billion a day. Automakers are taking a hit. We just heard from Honda saying that they are cutting U.S. output because they simply can't get the auto parts they need. And it's not just about imports, it's about exports, too. The U.S. agriculture industry is losing, they say they're losing $30 to $40 million a week because farmers can't get the fresh meat out here on the docks, on the ships, and out to their top markets over in Asia. So if you look at the bigger picture, these 29 ports from Seattle to San Diego handle 40% of the nation's containerized cargo, which accounts for 12.5% of GDP. And that is why President Obama has sent his labor secretary out here. And people are very hopeful that he can help negotiate a deal.
Well, speaking about a deal, Shelby, and certainly this is a big deal for the economy. What about a resolution? What are people saying about that, Shelby?
Well, I spoke to a professor at Berkeley who studies unions. He says the fact that political pressure has been stepped up makes him believe it could be a matter of days instead of weeks. We're also seeing a heightened sense of urgency here on the ground. The ship behind me actually was out on the water for a month and was just pulled in because the crew ran out of food. So there's more pressure from the shipping industry. It appears that both sides are saying that an agreement is close, but they're caught up on an issue surrounding arbitration, and that's what everyone is hopeful for Labor Secretary Tom Perez to come in and help negotiate.
Okay, and until there is a deal that is reached, what happens to all of that cargo, Shelby?
Yeah, that's a good question. So some of these smaller ships do have options. They could go to Canada or Mexico. They could also go through the Panama Canal over to the East Coast. But we saw some ships out there yesterday that are simply too big to go through the Panama Canal. They are stuck here. It's kind of like a game of chess. They're all just waiting to make the next move, and hopefully their move is before all of their competitors. Companies can also transport some of the cargo via air, but that costs 15 to 20 times more than sending it by sea. So there are options, but either way, it's definitely costing companies a lot of money to deal with.